Welcome back to the Aftermatch with Kirsten Beav. 2026 Year 2, Season 2, bigger and better than ever before. It's been a big off season for the Aftermatch. What have you been up to, Beav?
What are you trying to suggest? Bit of fishing with my black magic gear.
I've had a bit of fish too.
I've heard.
Snapper, Kauai.
Yeah. Of course, your neighbour has been providing for you.
He has been. He's a great neighbour.
You
haven't.
No, well, I've been feeding mouths up in the Coromandel with all my black magic gear. But no, wonderful summer, wonderful Christmas time. So.
I'll tell you what I've been doing. Young Bowie, he's got into his cricket, Beav.
Yes, get him into it.
He's into his cricket. He's 20 months old. He moves his feet and he can hit a ball on the move.
Beautiful.
He can even drop a knee.
Well, I mean...
And put one over the fence.
See, I don't know why parents are so anti-cricket.
Well, Gareth is like, don't worry, we'll drop them off for 3 hours. They can just go do their thing and we get to chill out. It is so boring.
Sit on the boundary of summer, deck chair.
Horrible. I'd rather be at the beach or somewhere else.
Maybe a wee sharpener at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Who am I to discourage him?
Don't hold him
I'll
back.
let him keep chipping his balls into the paddling pool. Look, first podcast of the year and a lot of news around, lots of player movement. But I guess the biggest news around, and we've left it a little bit because it's not nice news to share, that Scott Robertson is not the head coach of the All Blacks this year. Halfway through his contract, he's been let go, which... It's actually hard to talk about Beav because I've had quite a bit to do with him. He is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he has been such a good coach. Under 20s, Canterbury in the NPC and the Crusaders. Most successful coach in all of those.
Yeah.
In those teams. It's hard to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean...
And it doesn't happen to anyone.
No.
That's the thing.
Because it's, I guess it was such
shocking.
a shock.
It's shocking.
It is shocking. You know, we've never axed an All Black coach midterm. And, you know, the news came through, obviously, while everyone's on holidays. Yeah. And, you know, it was almost one of those, is this fake news? Because I was starting to get messages from overseas media outlets going, come on our show about the new All Blacks situation. And we're like, well, you're not believing that fake news, are you? But then, you know, it happens. So it was so shocking. But you got to feel for, as you say, you got to feel for Razor.
I feel for him
as a person.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think anyone probably can appreciate the heat you're under as an All Black coach until you're the All Black coach.
Yeah.
You know, nothing. If they say who's prepared for it, well, no one's prepared for it until you're probably in the furnace there. That is the All Black coaching job. So, yeah, absolutely. It'll be tough for Razor. It'll be tough for him over the next couple of years watching it. I mean, the World Cup's going to come around and the All Blacks are going to go there as one of the favourites. And you know, he'll be thinking that could have been me. So, first of all, you just got to think of the personal aspect of it.
Ultimate redemption story. And I know it's really early to call this, but I hope he picks up an awesome job overseas. He's not allowed to coach a Tier 1 team for the next season or so.
Yep.
So maybe he'll go back into coaching a franchise or club. Then he will become an international coach again.
Yep.
And potentially he will get another crack with the All Blacks. Look at Wayne Smith. I mean, we've had coaches come and go in the All Blacks environment before and come back.
Absolutely.
And I hope that happens to him, and I hope that he is really successful because he is such a nice guy. But there is a gap.
Yep.
There is a big gap to fill when
it's
you're
a big
talking.
Size gap.
Next year is the Rugby World Cup, Beav.
Yep.
This year in 2026, we go to South Africa for 6 weeks.
Yep.
10 matches on the road in South Africa, 4 test matches. Plus we have France and Ireland coming here to New Zealand. We've got the big end of year tour, Nations Championship again. It is not an easy year.
No.
And a brand new coach is walking into it. Who's the coach? What are the options here?
Well, I mean, obviously...
A lot of names have been thrown out.
A lot of names, but I think you got to be realistic about a few of them.
Let's cross a few off the list then.
Eddie Jones.
Not there?
No, I don't think he's there.
A lot of people talking about Joe Schmidt. And I think
yes.
the Australians are actually worried that Joe Schmidt is going to get the job. Joe Schmidt's contracted to Australian rugby until July. How could you walk from one Tier 1 nation into another?
Well, obviously contractually he can because no one's poured cold water on it yet, have they? I think Joe Schmidt will be part of the conversation. We are presuming that they haven't just already gone, right, we're going to go from Razor to this.
I'm assuming that has been done.
Yeah.
I make an assumption. You do not get rid of your head coach of the All Blacks a year and a half out from the World Cup unless you know who's coming in. They know. So the conversation in my mind has been had.
Yes.
In your mind, what are you thinking?
Well, if you look at it logically, it's Jamie Joseph.
It has to be.
Yes. And then all of a sudden,
he's here, he's waiting,
here.
He's been the New Zealand A coach.
Great record.
All his international experience.
Huge experience.
He's sitting here.
And look, I've never been coached by Jamie. Probably had the same
so
to do.
Impressive every time you talk to him.
Every time you bump into him. And if you look at the All Blacks right now, and from outside, of course, we're saying, he might be just what they need.
Yeah.
Like just what they need. And maybe just what the players want, but they don't know they want that, you know?
And what do you mean by that?
Well, he's
tough?
A tough, hard ass.
But then he's also the father figure that throws his arm around you because the players love and respect him so much. And he's a bit of a softie when you talk to him.
Well, I wouldn't say softie, but
you know what I mean? He doesn't have just the Vern Cotter hard edge about him.
No,
there is something more.
And the stories you hear around the traps, yes, there's the hard ass, but there is the guy that, you can lean on, or the guy that you want to play for sort of coach. So without a doubt, if he gets the job, it's all in on Jamie, and there'll be no one, I guess, sort of anti that. And as I say, he might be just what we need right now to really shake it up. And, straight away, obviously, if you get Jamie...
You're thinking Tony.
Brown.
But Springboks assistant.
But look, it would have to be the worst piece of business in South Africa history if they've got a contract that would allow Tony Brown to be in their camp, then to walk out of their camp. It can't happen.
Way.
There's no way. So he's not going to have his right-hand man.
David Kidwell.
Yes.
Down at the Highlanders right now.
Yeah, so
he's brought him in.
He's obviously done a lot of work with Argentina from a defensive point of view. Obviously, a lot of former league guys are defensive coaches, not just in club world, but in international. So he'll be in the chat. You've Dave Rennie's name.
As what? What was his portfolio?
Well, when I had him as the head coach, but his portfolio with us was attack and counter.
So that's what he would do?
Not necessarily, because he could cover it all. He could do whatever. But in my experience with him, that was his particular portfolio.
Do you think he wants to be an assistant coach again? He's been a head coach for how long?
But it's the All Blacks. That's the thing. And
he's always wanted to be.
Well, look, Renz would have never turned it down. And Renz hasn't, the reason why you ask that question is essentially you're asking, can the egos be put to the side? Oh, if I'm a head coach, can I work for someone else? Well, Renz is probably the least ego head coach of that ilk that I've ever met. So I think if him and Jamie have got a relationship, if Jamie's reached out, I wouldn't put that past him. For me personally, he's as good as I've had. Both, like the whole package with Renz. So I would love to see Renz in there. Another one who, I don't know if you realise, Kers, and again, contractually, is it possible? I know he's just been put on some order of merit in his new adopted homeland, but John Mitchell's coach with Jamie.
Yes. Again, portfolio, defence.
Defence.
Right.
And you think about the All Blacks.
That is some lineup if you're putting these people together.
Well, if it's possible, why not? And when you think about when England stuffed the All Blacks in 19, it was the defence that just left the All Blacks without answers. Who was the defence coach for the English team with Eddie Jones? It was John Mitchell. So does he come into reckoning,
What's his relationship like?
With Jamie? Well, he coached with him.
So he's...
Well, they did Japan together.
Japan.
Yeah.
So
that's why all of a sudden I just sort of throwing it out there. The other one, which, I mean, as I was driving back from holiday, things were
You've had all of these coaches.
Yeah, I have.
Except Jamie.
Except Jamie. Things are ticking through my head. 2 years. I know Joe Schmidt's been seen as maybe a 2-year go, see what you can do, Joe. There's two guys coaching at Toyota together. For 2 years... Could you not go to Steve Hansen
and
Ian and say, do you want it? Has that conversation been had? Has it been offered? I mean, we're talking outlandish here.
That's what we do.
That's what we do here on the Aftermatch. But has that conversation been had? Because, I mean, they're not, those two in particular, they're not too far gone. They're not dithery. If you wouldn't call either of them dithery,
no.
And if I did, I'd hear about it. But is that conversation being had, or would that be seen as it's a step back? We've moved on from that, or is it a case of we've got 2 years, we're trying to win a World Cup here?
So you're saying rescue mission?
Is it a salvage job if you're not going the obvious, which for me,
Jamie's
Jamie's
surely
obvious.
can right the ship.
Of course, you can.
You don't look in this team and think there's too much wrong with it.
No,
We're not like in the depths of
No.
despair that we need to clean everything out
No.
and start all over.
No.
We're in a good space.
Player-wise,
we're still in the top few nations
absolutely.
in the world. We're only dropping a couple of test matches here and there.
Well, who beat South Africa last year?
Us
how many
at Eden
teams?
Park.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No one
and the
else did, did they?
Wallabies.
Wallabies beat them at Alice Park. You know, so you're thereabouts.
We are there.
2
so
years
this isn't a
ago,
salvage
1
job.
point off a World Cup title.
Yeah.
So let's not throw everything
No.
out here. But
you're just putting it out there that
if it's
could it be? Could
coulda,
it? Yeah,
you
it's
know.
a coulda.
It's a coulda. And all of a sudden, with 2 years to go, two-year gig being somebody's assistant, that's why would Renz be Jamie's assistant? Why not for 2 years? Yeah.
So, okay, most likely scenario here is the Jamie Joseph.
Jamie's
and we're
head coach.
talking about potential assistants to go around him.
Yep.
Unlikely scenario, Joe Schmidt. Because that means you'd have to have an interim coach coming in for
Yes.
the July series.
And I mean,
Which would be
Joe's
strange.
always wanted to get back to New Zealand. We're obviously know his family situation. He wants to get back and look after
But
the family.
clearly he's okay at being an assistant as well.
He is, but that'll be to whom?
Exactly.
And look, we don't know. We don't know how, we've never been in a room with all these coaches and see who actually has a beer
Who's
with
got
each
a
other.
relationship.
Yeah, and who avoids them like the plague.
Did you see this? There was lunch had between Tony Brown, Jamie Joseph, and Richie McCaw 5 days ago, the day after the announcement.
A lunch was had.
A lunch was had. You know, it always happens this way. Like the Dallas Cowboys, when they sacked their coach in like the 60s or something, there was a lunch had before the official announcement between the CEO and the new coach. People always get snapped having these conversations. Who have you seen out and about?
So hang on. If you're saying that was a CEO, do you think Richie is going to fill the vacant CEO job?
No.
Well, you heard it here first if it happens.
What? That's what you're thinking?
Yeah. Robinson gone, McCaw,
David Kirk's coming,
CEO.
bringing in Richie McCaw.
CEO. He could do that. He's an intelligent man.
Oh, he could do it.
Yeah. He's got his board certificate.
We're going way off track here.
We've started a rumour here.
You've started a few on this program.
Sorry, Sir Richard.
Okay, so most likely Jamie. We go
Yep.
back to it. Joe Schmidt, I'm ruling him out. Are you?
Yep.
Unless he's an assistant. I can't
Yeah.
see him coming in as a head coach.
Yeah, be a story. But to be fair, if it's not, I would think if it's not Jamie, it's Joe.
It's Joe. So
Yeah.
those are your
So
two.
yeah.
And the Ian Foster,
The fantasy
Steve
stuff.
Hansen's fantasy.
Yeah, I would say so.
Could anyone else be part of the conversation? And I'm talking your Vern Cotters.
It was interesting that Vern's never been mentioned in all of this, has he?
No one's mentioned him. Clayton McMillan, no one's mentioned him. Before he went overseas last year, he was the successor, probably in New Zealand, to Razor.
and certainly in some eyes. Vern, what is good for Vern? Vern, long time overseas, successful overseas, lots of experience. Come back, wins a title with the Blues. No one could win a title for the Blues for 20 years.
Yeah.
Vern, who's his best relationship in coaching?
Clayton McMillan
Joe Schmidt.
and Joe Schmidt. But
Yes.
those three,
Well,
they all...
I don't think you're getting Clayton out of a 4-year deal that he's just signed with Munster. But Joe, all of a sudden, with Vern, would be...
So that could be a combination.
That would be a combination, without a shadow of a doubt.
Is there anyone we're forgetting about? Is there any other possible fantasy out there?
We pulled in. We've thrown some fantasy in there with
Well,
Mitchell.
A lot of head
Hansen.
coaches have been named.
Yeah, but they're all Kiwis too.
They are.
And at the end of the day, like a player, they want to be part of the All Blacks. So, as I say, egos get put aside. I mean, we've seen Mitch be an assistant coach all around the world now for a long time. And to be fair, probably Mitch's personality is suited to being assistant. So, there's probably some guys that don't know that that's where they're probably best served. So, who knows? The Renz one's interesting for me. I'd love him to be involved.
And not as a head coach? You
Oh,
couldn't
look-
possibly see him,
I could.
his name as head coach of the All Blacks?
Oh, if I was CEO, he would be well and truly seen as that. But I just don't know.
You just don't, at this stage, you think it's Jamie's.
I'd say it's Jamie's because he's here,
Yeah.
runs on the border, and I think it would be pretty well received. And I mean, and Renz is not in favour, but for all the people that probably Renz wound a few up in head office when he was coach of the Chiefs, they're all gone now.
So it's all good.
So it's a clean slate that front. So he might have a bigger chance. But look, I think he was finishing up at Kobe at the end of the year. So I don't know if the desire is still there or not. But As I say, interesting.
2 years, though. It's not long, is it?
No, and that's,
not when you're thinking you're only going until late next year.
and that's what they're all probably thinking.
Yeah.
Joe Schmidt, Reens,
Last.
Mitch, could they do it for a couple of years?
And with the team that you've got and the personnel.
Well, you're always going to go to World Cup for chance, aren't you?
Exactly.
You're not going there
You're
to
not
make up
going-
numbers.
you're
Oh,
not-
can we make the
you're not
quarterfinal?
Wales.
No, you're going there to win it.
Where's Gaddy in all of this?
Well, probably sitting in his palace in Waihi Beach. But again,
There's another one.
There's another one that could come in. Hasn't coached for a few years, but as I say, you just don't know.
You just don't know.
No.
Okay, so who are we predicting?
After all of that rebel.
After all of that, is the old firm coming back together? Or are we looking at
I think you're looking at Jamie. And then I hope
Jamie Tony Brownless?
Jamie Tony Brown lists, so therefore I hope he grabs Dave
Right.
Rennie.
Yes.
And look, if you could grab Smithy while you're at it, Jamie, why not?
And John Mitchell.
And John Mitchell, that'd be powerful.
This is your entire career, basically, in coaches.
I never had Jamie.
Aside from Jamie, but basically from 19-year-old Beav.
Fozzie, get Fozzie in there somehow.
There's your team.
Ted, does Ted want to roll?
Why not?
Yeah, what would Ted be
Well,
good
he came
for?
out of retirement for the Women's Rugby World Cup, didn't he? By all accounts, still had it.
Make Ted like gear man or something like that.
Carrying the bags.
Logistics, very good. School teacher, very good.
Okay. Well, we'll find out soon. I'm
Won't be
sure.
long.
How soon? When are
I'd-
you predicting this is? Do they need to do it pre or post Super Rugby?
No,
Pre or during?
it'll happen during, if not
So it's
pre.
not going to happen in the next few weeks.
Oh no, I think it will. I think if there's a delay, I think some of these fantasy stuffs, people might be getting out of contracts.
That's the only reason for a delay.
Yeah.
If you're going straight to Jamie, you're announcing it soon because
Or Jamie's got to maybe have a Highlanders replacement and stuff like that too.
and that's another question I actually had just before we go.
Mm.
If he is to be named the next All Blacks coach for this year onwards, what happens to the Highlanders?
You would leave it up to Jamie, I reckon. If he thought that he
Who's
could,
down there that could step up?
Clark Dermody's still in the mix, and he had them for a year.
Yeah, he didn't enjoy doing
don't
that
think
though,
he enjoyed
did he?
it. I don't think
didn't
it was-
enjoy the head coaching role.
No, but he might just have to if it unfolds like that. Kidwell's down there, but he wouldn't be
A head
coach at Super Rugby level yet. So Bender's down there.
Head coach.
Give it to him. The kid can do everything else. So give it to him. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
You leave him a year or you replace him.
I leave him there.
You leave him there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be quite a
Tough
tall
for the
task
Landers.
for the person that comes in.
Yeah,
for the Landers.
and like whoever he names as assistants, whether he keeps some of Razor's or gets his new ones, they will be free to, I guess, do the big selection scanning, and Jamie's going to see them every week anyway, all the potential players.
Oh, well, there you go. Fantasy rugby
Fantasy or rugby?
right here. Whether the fantasy comes true or maybe it's in within you, we'll find out. This is the Aftermatch with Kirsten Beav. Let us know who do you think would make up your dream team of All Blacks coaches? Who would you have as head coach plus assistants? Pick anyone. Tell us. Beav's picking people from all over.
Yeah,
He's making it up, so you do the same.
I've been drinking.